Hey everyone, thanks for joining me again at the Ultimate Racing League. We are here at Trial Mountain in the US of A for race 2 of our Sunday evening championship on GT7. Wacky Racer, if you remember and you watched race 1, had a fantastic win in that race. Let us see if he can repeat that success in race 2. So thanks for joining us for the start of race 2. After a great race 1, we can see that Wacky Racer is on pole position. Niggle in second, Aspect just behind it in third. Viking, a great race from Viking in race 1. He takes fourth on the grid. James in fifth, Robbie 6th, Declan 7th, Stealth 8th. 9th on the grid is the Big Mac, 10th is the Kebab Man's, 11th is Hodgie. Asbo 12th, Angry Man 13th, URL Max 14th and Hoppers 15th. Unfortunately, Mikey is not with us in the Batmobile, which is why we only have the 15. So back up to pole position, and once we hit the right camera we can get this race underway. So race 2 at Trial Mountain is up and running. Wacky Racer got a good start. Niggle got off the line okay this time. Stalled it a little bit first race round. Aspect has now moved up into second. I think the Merc Power is just too much for the Porsche off the line. So Niggle drops to third. Viking still in fourth. We're going to go and stay with everybody else as they come through those first few turns. Oh, and Hoppers has spun it on the first turn. Let's just see what happened to Hoppers. He's just lost his way a bit there, hasn't he, on the first turn. Very easy done and unlucky for Hoppers. He's not enjoying this track at all. However, someone that is Wacky Racer. Back where he likes to be, out in front. We've had a bit of a change. Let's just see if I can go back. Because, well, the change happened very quickly. Yeah, Aspect into second. I thought he dropped to third actually, but no, mistaken. So Aspect sits in second. We've got Niggle just behind in third. So a repeat of race 1. Excuse me. With Viking in fourth, James in fifth. James, however, has got Robbie all over the back of him. He in turn has got Asbo putting under the pressure. Robbie in 6th, Asbo 7th, Declan 8th. Stealth in 9th. He's got Hodgie in 10th. Now, this is where the slipstreaming will begin. We've got Kebab Man's and the Big Mac side by side as they go down the hill. Let's go back up as Robbie makes it. Well, come on, catch up. I'm going to go back there because I got myself confused. I apologise for that. So Robbie was sitting in 6th, just behind James. Gets into the slipstream, and then you'll see Robbie just moves to the left to take that inside line. Robbie gets his nose in front of James. James fighting back, can't really do much about it on that turn though, if you lose the inside line. So Robbie in 5th, James 6th, Asbo 7th. Then we've got Hodgie and Declan fighting it out for 8th, Stealth just sitting behind Declan. We've got Kebab Man's, Big Mac and Angry Man, so little groups of 3 here having a bit of a fight out. You can see Hodgie. I thought Hodgie was making a move on Declan. He is, so Hodgie takes 8th. Quite a cluster of cars at the minute. So Hodgie in 8th, Asbo 7th. Declan wants that spot back. Kebab Man's now moved up to 10th. and trying to get onto the back of Declan. This is where the fight seems to be in this pack. Oh no, we've got James. James has got a half-second penalty. That'll be for track limits. He's got his teammate behind him, so I don't think he's going to be too worried about it. The fact that Robbie is just going to inch away from him a little bit further. So let's go on board with Robbie as he chases Viking down. You can just see James in the mirror there. Now is Robbie going to have a look before we get to the turn? I don't think he's having a bit of a cheeky look up the inside. I think he's just trying to get himself in Viking's mirrors. It may have worked. Viking did go wide, although Viking's got the inside line for the next turns. Oh, and Viking seems to thought he'd lost it then. Well held, Viking. In the meantime, all of this has allowed James to get right on the back of Robbie. In fact, where's James gone? He is still there. This is great racing from these three guys. Although James will have to serve that penalty now, which is going to drop him back just a little bit from behind Robbie. You can see the brakes suddenly applied there to James's car. So now James has got Hodgie, his teammate, behind him, so perhaps those two could work together to try and catch up with the guys in front. I'm just going to go back up to our race leader, Wacky Racer, who is now starting to stretch his legs and pull away. Wacky with the current fastest lap, a 150.6. He is on the softs. Mediums do have to be used in at least one race. So we'll go down the tyre list. Niggle in second, looking very comfortable as well. He's also on the softs. Aspect, he's on the medium, so Aspect having a great race in third position on the medium tyres, which will mean he can go back onto the softs for race 3. So Viking just sitting behind, also on the mediums. So the Mercs obviously don't mind the medium tyres at all. And it does look like Viking's catching up to the back of his teammate, so we should be interested to see whether Viking makes a move or they do work together. Robbie in 5th on the mediums. James looking to make a move on Robbie. James takes the inside line. James on the medium tyres as well and gets it done, so it was a good move from James to move up into 5th. Robbie now in 6th, he's also on the mediums. Hodgie on the softs in 7th. Then we've got Declan on the mediums. There's a bit of a mixed bag with the tyres for this race too. Different tactics being deployed. So the Kebab Man's, he's on the mediums, trying to stay up with Declan. Asbo carrying a penalty. He's on the mediums. Angry Man on the mediums. Stealth as well. So most of the field seem to be on the mediums. Hoppers now moved up into 14th, so it must only mean the Big Mac has had a bit of a moment himself. So back up to our race leader, Wacky. He just seems to be getting further and further away. So no change for the top 4. Viking just sitting behind Aspect. That will probably stay like that for quite a length of this race, I would imagine. The two of them working together to try and catch up to the back of Niggle and Wacky. James in 5th, he's still got Robbie and Hodgie for company. This track really is all about keeping it clean and not making any mistakes. these guys doing a great job so far. It does look like Hodgie is getting closer and closer to Robbie, so could we see the two Genesis then, one behind the other, if Hodgie can get close enough. As they cross the start-finish line to start lap 5. We are just over halfway of this 15-minute race. Hodgie doing everything he can to put Robbie under pressure, trying to force a mistake from him. I'm sure Robbie's seen it all before, he's not going to fall for that. We'll just stay with these guys just as they're coming to the long straight in the tunnel, because if Hodgie can get close enough to the back of Robbie, he may actually be able to take that 6th spot away from him, although Robbie will be in the slipstream of James just ahead of him. So it's almost like Hodgie's getting a double slipstream, if there is such a thing. No, he's not going to get it done, is he? So we'll drop down the pack, see how everybody else is doing. You can see Declan in 8th, Kebabman's in 9th, we've got Asbo down in 10th, Stealth in 11th, Angry Man, Max, Hoppers and the Big Mac in 13, 14 and 15. So back up to Wacky. I think the gap's closing actually. I think Niggle is closing on Wacky, although there is probably one or 2 seconds gap. Then there is quite a decent gap then back to Aspect in 3rd. Viking in 4th. So the two Mercs looking very comfortable. So this is where the fight seems to be at the minute, is Robbie, Hodgie and James. Now what's happened to James, because James was actually in front. Let's just go back, see how far we've got to go back. So there we go, James was in 5th, he's got Robbie all over the back of him. We've got the left-hander here, and then we come to... Oh, and James has gone off onto the grass. And that's allowed Robbie and his teammate Hodgie through, so it was a rare mistake by James. And I'm sure the air is now very blue in the cab of that car. James will be very annoyed with himself for that mistake, and that's put him behind Hodgie and Robbie. He's now got Declan bearing down on him. So James, he has caught his teammate up. I think he is in the slipstream. That's gone board of James. You can see Hodgie and Robbie fighting for that inside line. Hodgie has got it and has got his nose in front. So James is watching all this happen. Robbie's forced to slot in behind Hodgie. He's trying to get the cut back. Hodgie holds his line. It's a good move from Hodgie to get into 5th position. I think he's holding Robbie up just enough to allow James to get onto the back of him. Maybe a bit of a secret radio messaging going on, I don't know. We've got about 4 minutes of this race left, so we're probably looking at what, another 2 laps, I don't know. Oh, mind that wall on the left. Now Robbie pulls to the right. Is he going to take Hodgie on this straight? Has the Mercedes got the power? I think it may have. Let's just see. Oh, Hodgie's gone off onto the grass. I think the pressure was just too much coming from Robbie. So let's have a look. They're side by side and they're approaching turn one. This is a very tricky section to go side by side in. I think Robbie gives it up, but Hodgie just can't slow the car down, and he finds himself kissing barrier, and he's not only lost the spot there to Robbie, he's also lost the spot to Declan. So it's up to James now to take the fight to Robbie on behalf of the Genesis boys. Again, that's another one kicking himself, Hodgie, with a rare mistake. So Viking looks like he's all on his own. Quite a good breathing space. There's quite a gap between Viking and Robbie in fifth. So Robbie's still fighting it out with James for that fifth position. I just want to... Oh, no, I won't. I was going to say, I'm just going to go up and have a look and see what's happening at the leaders, but I thought James was making a move on Robbie there. I'm just going to go up and see what's happening. So Wacky's still out in front. Got quite a good bit of breather back to Niggle. So these two are definitely going to make the podium unless something very drastic happens. You can just see the two Mercs in the distance there of Aspect and Viking in third and fourth. Then we've got Robbie still in fifth, James in sixth, Declan seventh, Hodgie eighth. Kebabman's in ninth, having a decent race on the medium tyres as well. Asbo in 10th, he's coming under a bit of pressure from Stealth. We'll just follow these two into this short tunnel with the left-hander. We've got about 1 minute of this race left as Stealth looks to go up the inside there, and he gets it done. So Stealth now up into 10th, Asbo drops to 11th, Angry Man down in 12th. He's on his own, a bit of a lonely race for him. Same for Max. Then we've got the Big Mac in 14th, and then the Hoppers. I don't think he's seen another car for quite a while. Still fighting that BMW. So back up to our race leader, Wacky Racer. I think he's going to get another lap in again. We have about 15 seconds left, so Wacky will definitely get another lap in as he crosses the start finish line. He's going to start lap 9. We've got Niggle in second. Again, he's going to get another lap in, so it looks like Aspect is going to be the first to finish race 2 in third position. Another good steady race from Aspect. Viking, again, another good race from Viking to come home in fourth. Good points for those for that team. Robbie in fifth, James 6th, Declan 7th, Hodgie 8th. He'll be disappointed with that, will Hodgie. Kebabman's in 9th, Stealth 10th, Asbo 11th. Then we've got quite a gap back to Angry Man in 12th. So Angry Man crosses the line in 12th. Max 13th. The Big Mac is going to be 14th. And then Hoppers down in 15th, still sliding around. I'm not sure if they've got some mechanical issues in that BMW, but Hoppers is definitely struggling. So back up to our race leader, Wacky Racer. It doesn't look like he's under any pressure at all. He's just got to coast home to take the second win. So well done to Wacky Racer. Good steady race. Did what he needed to do. So congratulations to him. And Niggle, another great race from Niggle to come in second. So that was race 2. I hope you can join me for race 3 very shortly.